hear perinatal depression, what comes to my mind is a mom who's not functioning at her best level. I hear a mom who's been feeling sad, has not had the energy level, perhaps has had increased anxiety, perhaps not sleeping well, eating well, looking after herself very well, and having thoughts of life not being quite as enriching, as fun, to the point even of thinking of harming herself, having thoughts of harm of her baby or fearing for her baby's life. Some individuals even have some psychotic symptoms, so their thinking isn't straight anymore. They can have some disturbances in their sleep, from not being able to get to sleep to sleeping much longer than they normally would. And also they can have some interruptions in their dreams. So instead of having their usual sequence of dreams, within the dream there may be some very strange ideas about harm coming to their babies. Classically, the definition of postpartum disorders is within the first year to year and a half of a child's birth. I like to consider that a mom's relationship with her infant or child can trigger some interpersonal difficulties really at any point in their life. Pregnancy causes some significant biological changes in a woman's body. There's no doubt that this is a biological stress and recreation. However, research has shown that postpartum disorders and depression are multifactorial in their origins. So we all have a genetic composition, and during the process of a pregnancy, genes are triggered, and so depending on what the mixture was that you got, there may be a tendency for some weaknesses to be there with respect to the neurochemicals that we need. On top of this, though, is the interpersonal relationships that we have. Depending on the quality of the relationship, the interaction between the parent and their support group, for example, can help them to remain calm, to remain thoughtful, and to work with some of the challenges, work through them in a thoughtful form.